Hey guys, what's up? It is me, Mr. Annual Packs, and today I have a Battlefield 4 beta gameplay for you guys. And this is on the map Siege of Shanghai on Domination, just because Conquest wasn't really working out very well, just because there weren't many games going on for Conquest. And if I got into a game, it was only about 3-4 people, so it wasn't really worth it to record it at all. But this is Domination, and pretty much what it is close quarters maps without vehicles, and just the standard stuff, and I think it's still 12 on 12. The last time I played Domination was on Battlefield 3 in the Close Quarters DLC, and that was about a year ago or so. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I haven't seen anybody else on YouTube with Battlefield 4 beta footage from the actual beta. This came out yesterday for PC, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3. PC was at like 1 in the morning, and then Xbox and PS3 weren't until like 2:30, 3 o'clock is when I found out about it. Because I was trying all day, and then when I got home from school, it was already up and running. So what I'm here to talk about is pretty much what the beta looks like, how it feels, differences between Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, just the same kind of standard things you would get in a review. And what I've played of it so far is about 10 games, Domination and Conquest, and it's been really different from Battlefield 3. There are a lot of things that look similar and feel similar, but they revamped all the controls. You can change them back to Battlefield 3 controls, and they're called Veteran, but they're very different when you first start out, and it took me a second to get used to them, and then I realized I can actually change the controls back to Battlefield, which they should just have something where you can change everything, because you have to change the vehicles, you have to change the helicopter sticks. I don't know about jets, because you cannot get jets on the Conquest map of Siege of Shanghai. One thing that they did is the guns. The recoil, I think that there is more recoil, and the guns pretty much itself, they handle much better. Besides the recoil aspect, they handle much better than they do in Battlefield 3, and they look just the same, and this is only the beta. The game will actually get better. It will get much better over time when it actually comes out, and the beta already looks as good as Battlefield 3, maybe even a little better. The people running, like your allies, when they run next to you, that looks really fluid. And then again, this is only beta stages, and a lot of things look better than Battlefield 3 already, and there's already more to come when the actual when the actual game comes out itself. And this is the exclusive beta footage, not open beta. That doesn't come out until Friday, October 4th. Yes, October 4th is when the open beta comes out, and the exclusive beta closes. It's only open from October 1st to October 4th. You can now open and close those crates, as I just ran by one. It had a little circle right next to the door. You can actually open and close it now and hide in there. So that's pretty cool. And another aspect that they did was this. When you die, it doesn't show like what the person's still doing. Like in Battlefield 3, it would show right up to the front of the person and show what they're doing at the time for about 5 seconds. Now it just highlights your killer in orange and just kind of like shows them in a vague third-person view, running away or doing whatever they're doing. Now, this map, Siege of Shanghai, it's balanced in some points, but it's also off-balance in others. This position C is the same on Conquest and Domination. There's this little roof above you, which has glass that you can break and you can fall through, and that is really good for flanking people over C, or just hiding up there, and there's an elevator that you can get up there too, which a lot of times I have died from there out of the games I've played, and I think I died up there once or twice on this gameplay, but that is a really good spot to ambush people on C and just to snipe there in general. Siege of Shanghai on Conquest, you can also take out the main tower, which is pretty cool. I'll have to get a gameplay up that later. And right here, it does not do the sound for knifing yet, and that's happened to me every single time I've gotten knifed or counter knife somebody. And yes, I do that in this gameplay. I do counter knife somebody. It's pretty cool, but you definitely can tell that they need to work on it a lot, especially because there's no sound yet, so you can't really hear any of the dog tags jiggling or the knife going into them, because we all know we like that kind of stuff. But anyway, the flag capturing is the same as any other Battlefield, and then Domination, of course, it's faster than it is on Conquest. And also, on the side of your gun, you might be able to see it right here when I jump over, or right there when I reload. You can see the Chinese flag there, and if you're the Americans, the Russians, doesn't matter what faction you are, it has your faction flag on your gun or on your tank. And on the tank, it has it like right on the barrel. It has your flag kind of wrapped around it, which is pretty cool. Kind of shows what team you're on, and you can see what tank it is. Like if you're an American soldier entering a Chinese tank, then it'll have the Chinese flag on the tank, which is pretty cool, so you can see which tanks are which tanks. Another thing is the parachute animation. I do parachute once in this gameplay, except it does not show really the parachute animation because I did it really close to the ground. But the parachute animation, your legs fly out like an actual parachute, and it looks much cleaner than it did in Battlefield 3, and I can't wait to see them shape that up too and when the actual game comes out. So a lot of things that look really nice in this game, but they just really need to improve before the game comes out. And the USAS, which I was just killed with, you can get that in the center of the map where C is, not B. I'm using like the center of the map being B, but C, where the C flag is, there's a USAS up there that has a really sick camo on it, and you can get that, and it's so overpowered. They need to fix that already. I'm not a fan of that. It might have frag rounds or some sort of explosive rounds, but it kills you very quick, and I get killed by the person with the USAS like 3 times, just because it like explodes. You'll see, I'll point it out when I get killed by it again, but so far it is overpowered. And the only gun I've used is the MX-8, I think is what it's called, and that's about it. And then the AK-12 I've used once or twice on the assault class, but I don't really use the assault. I'm more of an engineer type of guy, just because I like to take out tanks. And even though there are no vehicles on Siege of Shanghai and Domination, I still use the engineer class just so I can get my level up with it. And I think I get killed by the... No, so I do not get killed by the... Yes, I do. I did get killed by the USAS, my bad. He was in a window, and he was pretty far back, and he shot me behind a crate. So there's something on that gun that is like armor piercing or explosive, which I kind of want to find out what. And there's the USAS again. You can pause it and see if there's anything noticeable on there. But other than that, the starting weapon, the MX-8, is really good. Definitely manageable recoil. It's really fun to use. It's fast-paced shooting. It's a fast shooting gun. Has semi and automatic settings, and that's about it for it. And this is when I counter knife somebody. Right here, you hit B to counter knife. I'm not sure if that's for everybody, but for that instance, it was B to counter knife, and I got him. And I guess it does the animation wherever you are. It does the knifing animation from the front or behind, but when you do it from the front, then you can counter attack and counter knife them back, which I think is a pretty cool aspect that they put into the game, so that you don't have to take 2 knives to kill somebody, and you're kind of risking your own death if you knife somebody from the front. And I don't know how long it'll take to hit the counter knife button, because I was there for pretty long, maybe about half a second to a full second, and then I realized that I have to hit B to counter knife. So I guess we'll see what happens with that. But as you can see, when you jump over things, they still have the legs thrown out. Of course, it's Battlefield, but it definitely looks better than it does in Battlefield 3. And I hope they improve that as well, make it cleaner. And the reloads are really clean as well. Everything about this beta is really smooth, definitely better than the Battlefield 3 beta, I think, especially because they incorporated vehicles into the beta and multiple game modes. I'm not sure in Battlefield 3 if they incorporated Conquest and Rush, but I know for sure that it was Rush. Now the pistol, pistols in general, you can't really hammer the trigger. You can only fire a certain pace, which I kind of think is bogus because, I don't know, some people have really fast trigger fingers that are faster than the game allows, so they don't really get to use their trigger finger. But I was just kind of experimenting when I was in the game by myself to see what the games kind of were, what the pistols were, and things like that. It's the same pistol for all the classes, and it has 16 shots, and when you reload, it doesn't show that you have 31 bullets, like how you have 1 in the chamber and 30 extra. I don't know why it doesn't do that. I guess you can just assume that there's 1 in the chamber, but now there's 31. There we go. And sometimes when I would reload and I would have 31, then it wouldn't register and it'll take a second. So just little minor details about it. Other than that, the beta is pretty solid for a beta. I'm really enjoying playing it. If you guys have access to the exclusive beta, definitely download it. Even though the open beta comes out on Friday, get it. It's definitely worth your time. See if you can get in a conquest match. Tell me what you think about it. And that is about the end of this game, end of this gameplay in general. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what the Battlefield beta looks like. I'm sorry that I did not get Conquest. I'll be hoping to do that today or tomorrow. I'll be getting one up pretty soon. But I did end up going about like 18 and 10 on this gameplay. It was pretty good. And the customization for the guns you will also see in the near future in like the next day or two. So I'll be getting some Battlefield beta games up. And until then, I shall see you guys later.